Learning to communicate is a skill. My notes are full. Like I have so many folders, different ideas, different topics. Because the thing is, not every business that you think of will maybe come into fruition, but maybe if you write down 5 business ideas, the sixth one can be your business. So leadership means putting yourself in other people's shoes. Well, one beautiful example was giving money with your left hand. But in Ghana, you don't do that. It's disrespectful when you're doing business in Ghana or in Africa to keep your cultural context. So if you want to do something high end, whatever industry you're in, you want to give top quality, you have to be willing to invest in top quality and never cut corners. Welcome to the recap episode, Gold Circle Podcast. Yes, we already have done episode 5, 6, and 7, like with the guests. Amazing. We had TK from Future of Africa, Ali from California Fitness GH, and Kofi Kyei from Daily Farms GH. All amazing entrepreneurs from NGO to fitness to farming. So, my recap is basically a way to also, converse with you guys, my Gold Circle fam, to have a little bit of like decompressing. There's a lot of information, a lot of tips, a lot of wisdom shared in these episodes, but it's also very important to take the time to really absorb all the gold nuggets that are being shared and take the time to really also see like, okay, how can I apply this in my situation, in my business? Whether you're a diaspora entrepreneur, or whether you are youth, like you're a student, or whether you are a mom or a businesswoman just getting started, you have your shop, you have your business at home, and you're trying to get going. This is for you. Okay, let's go. So, the key takeaways that I saw in episode 5, because it's so different also for me interviewing the guest, then also looking back at the interview. And then I really, it really dawns on me like, wow, this is very, very, very great what they have been sharing. Well, with Future of Africa, I want to start with that TK was first putting himself out there, right? So in his story, he talks about he was in Canada, he was there to study. It was a whole culture shock for him to study abroad, but still, even though he was terrified basically when he was inspired by a speaker at one of the student conferences in front of 2000 people, he still stood up, went to the front, went to the mic, and asked a question in front of an auditorium full of students, even though it was so, scary for him. So putting yourself out there in big rooms, I remember I've done that a lot as well. And this was one of the exercises that I've learned in one of the trainings. I followed many trainings and courses, people, during my studies. I flew everywhere, like to go and do trainings and learn sales and learn presentation and learn public speaking. I really couldn't speak. Let me just be honest. I was a very creative person, a very smart person. I was a dancer. I loved to be on stage as a street dance, hip hop dancer. So I didn't have stage fright, but I couldn't talk. Learning to communicate is a skill. And he went out there to stand in front of, so many students and just ask his question. And, the person asked a question back. You just have to look at the episode. And then he answers something that gave him a standing ovation. Like the whole crowd stood up. But putting yourself out there when you feel, your heart beating, like, okay, I need to say something. Maybe I will look stupid, but I just want to ask the question. Raise your hand, ask the question, put yourself out there because of that, he got so encouraged. And when he was doing his job, he was writing down ideas on like tissue paper, not even on a phone or on like I think at that time there were no smartphones, right? So he was just writing it down. Use your resources. Now we even have phones. A lot of the times when you're at work, you can have a phone. Write things in your notes. If you have ideas for a new book, for a new venture, for a new side hustle, whatever it is, you write it down. Put it out there. My notes are full. Like I have so many folders, different ideas, different topics. Because the thing is, not every business that you think of will maybe come into fruition, but maybe if you write down 5 business ideas, the sixth one can be your business. But just start, even jotting down your ideas. That's number one. Okay, so leadership means putting yourself in other people's shoes. Because TK, he started the NGO, right? And then first, it wasn't the NGO, it was a student club. And in that, he was bringing Canadian students to Ghana to learn leadership skills. And later, the Future of Africa became the NGO it is today. And he did that, to help youth from the streets, put them, through schooling, learning skills, helping them. But he did it first by putting himself in their shoes. So first he went talked to them when they were on the streets. He gave them jollof. He went even to spend the night to feel how it is to sleep on the street, all the challenges they have. He literally went into their shoes. And that's the thing with any business or NGO or foundation or whatever you have. You have to dive into the shoes of your client, your customer, whoever it is that you serve, because you're in service of people. When you're a business owner, you are a servant. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Entrepreneurship, it looks so glamorous, right? You see all these stories on Gold Circle, you think, wow, but you are in service of. You're providing a service or a product to that client, to that end consumer, to that person that you're helping with if you have a foundation to have a better life. So you have to dive into their shoes. So that's really, really number one. And that's something that I think a lot of entrepreneurs forget. They're like, okay, I just want to be a business owner. This is my passion. I'm good at this. I can sell this. What is the number one problem you are solving for your customer? What is that? Are you helping them to get a job? Are you helping them to travel? Have a travel agency? Uh, you have a beauty product. Are you helping them become more beautiful? No, you're helping them get more self-confidence. Like, what is behind it? With the traveling, you help them to experience time connecting with their family, for example, or to develop themselves if they are traveling solo. Like, what is the real underlying thing that you are selling, which is not only the product itself, toothbrush and toothpaste? You sell that, right? But you're actually selling healthy teeth. You're selling that someone can bite their jollof rice without having pains. That's the real thing you're selling, healthy teeth, not just toothpaste and toothbrushes. So, those things are really important to think about and realize for your own business. So, all in all, TK's story was really amazing. I love talking to him and I cannot wait to see what they're going to do more. And yeah, I'm a fan. Future of Africa, the future is here. So we dive into episode 6 with Ali. Well, the key takeaways that Ali was talking about, first of all, traveling. Actually, similar to what TK was saying, like having this culture different. TK had it from Ghana to Canada. Ali had it from Lebanon to Ghana. There is this culture difference that you have to work through if you decide to live or move abroad, or if you decide to become an entrepreneur in another country. And those things you cannot learn or read into it upfront. You will just have to encounter them. I even have encountered a lot. I've lived in 3 continents other than my own, meaning I'm from Europe. I lived in the Caribbean. I've lived in the US, and I've lived in Ghana, in Africa, West Africa. So many different cultural differences are there that are inexplainable. But one beautiful example was giving money with your left hand. We wouldn't think of it in Europe. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm Surinamese. We wouldn't think anything of it. But in Ghana, you don't do that. It's disrespectful. Now, a lot of people who are living in Accra, in the capital city, they do know that foreigners don't know about it. So, but those are like little things that can really turn someone off. And it comes from the background, what I've heard, you wipe with your left. Like that was the vibe. So you don't give with your left. But it's culturally ingrained. Those things, you just experience them. Even like my husband, when I was getting to know him at the time, he didn't think of telling me about it because it's something that for him is so normal. Another example is when I went to South Africa with a whole group of people, and then there were a lot of Ghanaian artists involved, and they were like, "Oh, don't do people not give their son and daughters the days of the week as a name here in South Africa?" No, it's very Ghanaian. I don't know of any other African countries who do that. I know in Suriname we do that because we have a lot of Ghanaian culture in Suriname. So I know about it from Suriname, but a lot of people don't know. So side note, but it's so important when you're doing business in Ghana or in Africa to keep your cultural context, become culturally aware, so that you can have a flowing, smooth flowing business. Ali is in the fitness industry, so as a fitness business owner or business manager, I should say, it is so important to also listen to your customer again. But at the same time, it was also drawing a line like the customer should also respect how you run your business. For example, with dumbbells all over the place, put them back, those kind of things. So you have to have this mutual respect between you as the business owner and your customers, like the culture that you are now operating in, and vice versa, that your customers also know the house rules of your business, and you have to enforce it in the most respectful way, of course. So that is also a thin line. How do you struggle with that? Hygiene in fitness, like the fitness industry takes up a lot of your money. If you come to Ghana, you're like, hey, I'm gonna start this gym, this is what I want to do, da 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 da, right? Wrong. You can. He said it himself. It's easy to start a business. You still need capital, right? But to maintain the business, to maintain it with, high-end cleaning products, you're more in the cleaning business than in the fitness business. He has 8 trainers and 10 cleaners because you don't want people to get sick. So those are kind of like standards, quality standards that you have to keep up. He was talking about they started at an 11 with California Fitness GH, and they're still at an 11. So you never go down. Not even 10 is enough, 11. So if you want to do something high end, whatever industry you're in, you want to give top quality, you have to be willing to invest in top quality and never cut corners. Because there are a lot of businesses in Ghana, restaurants or other places, they start out amazing. It's true. I've experienced it. And then 3 months later, 4 months later, you come back, you're like, what happened? What happened to this menu? And in other countries, it happens too. Huh? So don't think when you're watching this and you are from Ghana or you have never traveled or whatever, you're thinking like, oh, only in Ghana they are not doing quality. No, this happens everywhere. This happens everywhere. The thing is with the Western world, if you look at Europe, I can only talk about Europe more specifically than other countries or other parts of the world. And Europe is even existing of so many other countries. So Netherlands, Belgium, they have quality control. For example, with such a restaurant, I even had an example recently in Belgium that I went to a restaurant and the food was really amazing. And then 4 months later, I ordered the same dish and it was not good. And it was a new restaurant in a really prime location. So it happened to me here also. The thing is, though, you do have like organizations that do quality control, hygienic control. You need to get certain permits. That's the thing. Here in the West, need to get so many permits. Even if you want to start a gym in Ghana, you have your, I don't know, 10K, 50K dollars or euro, whatever. You go, you start your gym. No one will come and check if you have this permit or that or whatever. Maybe it's changing now, huh? And by the time maybe you're watching this, things change. Things change very fast in Ghana as well, like professionalizing things. But here you need to have so many things, like even the fire prevention. Like your building needs to be built in a certain way so that there's always a fire escape and all these things that you have to apply to before you can even start. In Ghana, that's not the case. But the thing is, the market will always decide if you have high quality. The market will always decide if you are worth it to spend money on. So that is brutal, and that's everywhere the same. It's just a thing in the West. They try to, save you a little bit as a business owner in a way by making it very hard up front, to be honest. So that part really, really interesting to see how the fitness industry in Ghana is growing. And one thing he also said, which was really nice to hear, how there are so many opportunities in Ghana. He didn't dive in deeper into it, but as you can see on this podcast, Gold Circle podcast, there are many different opportunities in Ghana to be an entrepreneur, to grow your business, to make it. You don't have to go outside to make it. Or if you're a diaspora entrepreneur, yeah, you can save your money, come back, come to Ghana and make it. Like you can. It's just not easy, and you do need a trusted circle. So yeah, just join the Gold Circle. We have a WhatsApp group. We have more coming. So be sure to do that. Let's go to the next one. So our episode 7 is with Kofi Kyei. He is a poultry farmer, business owner. He didn't start in poultry farming, but he ended up in it now. And he is such a great guy. I just was mind blown by his knowledge. And the beautiful thing he was mentioning is that he had a mentor. Mentorship is super important for the next generation, but for everyone. Doesn't matter where you are in your journey as a business owner, you will always need a mentor. You will always need guidance because every level brings a new devil. That's how they say it. Every time you level up, there will be new problems, new things that you didn't know existed. For example, first you start your business and then, you need to get customers. Fine. Suddenly you grow, right? Let's say it goes well. You grow. You have to hire people. You have to train those people. You have to make sure those people know what to do, how to represent you and your business, apply to all the requirements to keep your business running, develop new products, develop new marketing campaign. You have to do. There is always another level. If you have done a second location and a third location and a fourth, more problems, more money, more problems. It's true. As an entrepreneur, you're a problem solver. You solve problems and you hire people to solve problems. If you solve your problem well, you will be doing really good. And Kofi J is an example of someone who is solving problems in an amazing way with his poultry farm. He discovered for himself, like, okay, he was thinking, like, what kind of business do I want to be in? He said he was like, he was somewhere and someone was ordering protein. They want to eat something, high protein. They couldn't afford like the meat, they couldn't afford the fish, but they could afford 5 eggs. And then it hit him like, what is my big target group? Who are the people that, like, what can people mostly afford in Ghana? Eggs. People eat eggs a lot in Ghana. I was also surprised. Like when I came first to Ghana, I was like, hey, everyone eats, I love egg. Or like, hey, egg with pepper, on the roadside. People sell it. And I was like, okay. And I have really, and eggs have so many amazing property. And especially also if you just eat the egg white. I won't go into that right now, but it's really amazing and it's really good. So he said, I'm going to go into egg poultry, like egg farming, poultry farming. And because there's so many different types of farming, right? So the fact that he looked around, paid attention, you have to pay attention. That's what paying attention means. Pay attention to what people around you are saying, what they're asking, what are they complaining about? Don't think, oh, they're complaining again. What are they complaining about? Can you find a solution to that problem? Are they complaining about the job market in Ghana? Can you maybe create a company that helps, source jobs and then give them to people? People complain about electricity. Can you check or research online what you can do with solar panels? What can you do, like, if, even starting the research, so starting to see problems and then also finding ways to solve them. So he saw that and he started the poultry farming, and he encountered a whole lot of setbacks and failures. And that's also one thing he said, like, you have to be ready to fail. And that's a big thing as a business owner. You can't be perfect. You have to be perfect in your service, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, he has to give perfect eggs, right? The eggs need to be good. The quality needs to be high. He also says he invests in a certain type of food, that he gives the high quality food so that, his chickens deliver amazing eggs. And I have tasted the eggs. They are really great. They're really delicious. So never back down on quality. It's the same thing Ali said from California Fitness. Kofi Chase says it as well. Never back down on quality. Invest, throw your money at it. Don't downplay or downgrade or whatever. Don't do that. Invest. And secondly, make sure you know your target customer. And he has this whole network of business to business owners, that he sells to, who sell on the market. He created this whole network of people. He reached out to them. He built a trust with them. Building trust also super important. So there's a lot that goes into business, but especially don't be afraid to fail, because you're gonna fail and you will learn from that failure. Don't stay down. Always get back up, even if it's in another business that you start, or if it's in the same business. Also, know when to stop, know when to continue. And one of the things he said, which was really scary, like an anaconda came into the farm and ate, like, basically killed chickens, and the emotional turmoil, it brought to him, like, it's he's emotional about it. Is there? It's like his kids, like the your business is like your baby, so things will happen that also mentally and emotionally affect you. And you have to know how to go through with it and still, recoup and get going, because he almost stopped. But now he's the egg millionaire. Last thing I want to say about Kofi Kyei, I love that he brought up the book Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. It's a book that has helped me. I have seen Robert Kiyosaki speak live when he came in the Netherlands to Millionaire Mind Intensive. Was a program I went to like 10, 15 years ago, which has changed my life. All those seminars and programs I went to in the weekends, and you pay a fee for it, but you have to be like from 8 to 10 and then 3 days and invest to be there. Like, those things have helped me. Those things have brought me where I am. Those things have let me know, oh, I need a mentor. Oh, I need this. And now we have YouTube. Now we have the internet. Now you can learn from each other in this way. And that's why Gold Circle Podcast is here, to let you have those gold nuggets. So yeah, get that book. I'm also working on a new book, by the way. I'm also a book writer, an author. So let me know if you want to know more about that. Leave it in the comments. Leave gold in the comments. Share this with someone that needs this. And also subscribe if you haven't already, here on YouTube if you watch it, or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this. Thank you for supporting Gold Circle Podcast. I love you all. I see the comments. My team and I are very, very excited to bring the best content about entrepreneurship and diaspora entrepreneurship and African entrepreneurship to you. Me as an Afro-Caribbean, as a diaspora, I'm just so proud and happy that all these entrepreneurs are giving me the chance to talk to them and to tell their stories on camera. And even if it inspires just one person to really start a new business, we're happy. This is what we want to do, because that person changed their family lives, the lives of the people they hire. That is what this is about, paying it forward. So thank you so much, Gold Circle family. See you on the next episode.